Kawasaki rolls the dice on Jorge Prado, but El Hombre ain't done yet. Hey everybody, Walty Wanderers, buckle up, strap in. We got hard hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So who's ready to jump back on the Moto merry-go-round as we examine the good, the bad, and maybe a little bit of the ugly?
No, Walty, not the ugly. Only examine rainbows and sunshine.
No. Somebody's got to read between the lines and look between the ruts. And today we're going to look between the ruts over at Kawasaki, their big acquisition, the world champ, Jorge Prado.
Oh, Walty, but I was the world champ.
Now, Jorge Prado, you seem like a pretty nice guy. But I think based on what I'm seeing, and again, I say this with as much love as possible, you kind of had this attitude like I don't necessarily know if I believe you when you kind of come off as this guy who thinks once we get to the outdoors, you are going to have something. I think the team has really put a lot of stock in you that you somehow are this really talented guy and that you're going to be able to smoke our guys once you get over here to America. But so far, it's really fallen flat. And here's the challenging part. Jason Anderson, El Hombre, who we love. Man, this guy he's been in the sport for a long time. He's paid his dues. He's a humble guy. He's not out there flexing on social media. He's a blue-collar guy.
Check out my ride, Walty, while these kids are rolling up in their Teslas. I'm still rolling around in this Prius stacking cash.
In this now white-collar world of moto. And Jorge Prado seems more like this white-collar dude, where El Hombre's this blue-collar dude. And I think Cowie kind of looked at that like, hey, he's a better ambassador. He's younger. El Hombre's on his way out. But, they should have let El Hombre finish his career. And, that dude probably could have rode, and he might, for another 5 years. He will continue to ride as long as he can make money. See, El Hombre's a little different. So I think he understands he's probably not winning any more championships, but I think he feels like he can still be a podium guy. And podiums pay money, and podiums also command decent contracts. So I think that he still feels like he can go out there and have a few years left to bankroll a bunch of money and set himself up for life after moto. He's probably pretty close right now to being able to walk away if he wanted to, but nobody wants to leave a buck on the table. But at Paula, we saw Ando chase down his teammate and make a point to pass him in that second moto, and that had to not sit well. Back at that truck, I can tell you what, it's not like him and Prado are hanging out talking about line choices. My guess is that El Hombre feels a little bit slighted. And there's a division in that camp. I, in fact, think when he bailed out of Supercross abruptly, it was because something didn't jive with him. Sure, he might be having some kind of health thing going on. Absolutely. He probably had a reason. But I think more than that, it was really that he felt that he had been basically slighted by the team. And everybody's circling Jorge Prado. So for Ando, I don't think he's necessarily cheering against Jorge Prado. I don't think he's that type of dude. But secretly, even for me and a lot of you possibly watching today, I think we want to see Ando outperform Prado because we feel like he's basically being replaced. And I just think it's nice to see a rider be able to finish their career somewhere. And Ando's not going to be able to do that. Now, I'm pretty sure he said as much, unless it's a factory ride, he's getting offers from probably Twisted and some other high-level satellite teams, whether it's Club MX, I know it's been one of the offers. But I know he wants to be on factory equipment. It's the only way somebody's going to step down, like a Savachi from Lights Champ to Factory Cowie to Honda supported team, is if they don't have walk away into the sunset money and they need to stay out there and race. And hopefully in the hopes of maybe getting that factory ride once again. The last person I remember seeing doing that is Dean Wilson. Remember when Dean Wilson was factory KTM and then he showed up at A1 in the back of a truck with a privateer Yamaha and then ended up getting a fill-in ride at Husky and turned that in to a new contract and lasted there a few years. And he's now taken his privateer life, and I think that's what Savachi and a lot of these ex-factory guys are going to do. They're going to just agent's going to figure out, hey, if we do this series, that series, abbreviated series, some invitationals, some Euro races, some world, like we can still make some decent money out there. So that's what these guys are doing. But the reality is this, especially if Chase shows up over at Cali, you're going to be odd man out, Jorge Prado. Now, I'm sure they would love to have two heavy hitters up there dominating. And there's a good chance Jorge Prado, when we get back east and we get to some more tracks that carry a little bit of a Euro vibe, we could see Jorge Prado actually come to, maybe hit the podium. But I just don't know. At this point, I don't think on any track we're going to see Jorge Prado on the podium. In fact, I'm going to ask it. So if you're new, get subscribed, jump over to the community page of the Walty Wanderers YouTube channel and participate in some of the polling. We're going to ask, is Jorge Prado going to find the podium this year? It should be close. I bet you it's going to be about a 50-50 split. In fact, I might have already asked that question and we'll reveal that here during this show. But if not, get over to the page and check it out and participate because we might be able to work it into a future show. But reality is this. If I was a betting man, I don't think Jorge Prado is going to be able to be, unless which people tend to get hurt. But if the field remains where it is now, and if Chase Sexton ends up continuing to race, and you got the Wonder Boy, you've got the Wonder Boy's brother, you've got Eli Tomac, you've got Cooper Webb, you've got a lot of other dudes that are capable of putting it in front of Jorge Prado, he's going to need a little luck. Now, there's a good chance he will find the podium, maybe, at one of these tracks coming up. But the way he looks right now, like I didn't see anything in Supercross that made me say this guy's a natural talent. I'm not seeing anything in the outdoors right now that's telling me he's anything that special either. Now, he might need a little time to adjust to the series, but I just see a lot of Jorge Prado kind of talking like he can win. He thinks he can win. And I don't know if he believes it or he's just saying it. And final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy that wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Jorge Prado, Cali, welcome to the swimming pool. You rolled the dice with Jorge. You brought him over. He's a Euro. He's not going to be as embraced by the fans and the moto fans as Anderson. And you're giving Anderson the boot. And Anderson, even though he's a unique dude and he brings a lot of, I don't know, kind of his own vibe with it, whether it's team fried or I just don't really want to be all huggy kissy with the team. I'm just out here doing my job. I'm a blue collar guy. I was hired to ride. I'm going to ride. I don't necessarily dig doing the whole social media thing and interviews and all this stuff where Jorge Prado does. He still gave you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and found himself odd man out. And that's why Walty will be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there. Simply search up Walty Wanderers MX on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.